Today, we bring you an inspiring story about how discovering your strengths and practicing with dedication can lead you to success. This story serves as a reminder that each of us possesses unique talents, and with the right mindset, we can shine in any field we choose. Not only that, but as you listen to the story, you will also learn new English vocabulary and how to use it in sentences naturally, simply, yet effectively. We want learning English to be engaging and approachable, so that you can gain knowledge while also drawing motivation from meaningful stories. So stay with us until the end of the video, where the story will close with profound lessons while helping you expand your vocabulary and improve your expression. Get ready for an experience that is both educational and entertaining, where every moment is an opportunity to grow. In a small, peaceful town, there lived a family in a quiet corner of the street. They had a 12-year-old son named David, who was in the 6th grade. David was a lively boy who loved outdoor activities, and his greatest passion was soccer. Almost every day, he would head to the public field near his home to practice his skills. One afternoon after school, David came home looking thoughtful. He sank into the sofa, glanced at his book for a few seconds, then leaned back into the cushions with a dissatisfied expression. His father, just in from the garden, noticed something unusual and came over to ask what was wrong. David admitted that he had received a poor grade in math. But what really bothered him wasn't the grade itself. It was the feeling of falling behind his best friend and neighbor, Matt, who always scored high in the subject. No matter how hard he tried, David just couldn't match Matt's performance. His father poured a glass of water for him and led David out to their shady garden. There, he explained that David would be learning 3 important life lessons today, each one taught through a small challenge. For the first lesson, he asked David to invite Matt to play soccer the next day. David agreed immediately, curious to see what his father wanted to teach him through this challenge. And so began David's journey of discovering profound lessons that would give him a new perspective on himself and others. The next morning, the weather was bright and full of energy. David went to school as usual, and after classes, he invited Matt to join him at the nearby soccer field. The match was lively, and as expected, David, who practiced almost every day, displayed outstanding skills. He scored 3 goals, leading his team to a decisive victory. Meanwhile, Matt was unfamiliar with soccer. He often lost the ball, made bad passes, or missed scoring opportunities. Yet both boys enjoyed themselves, and everyone on the field had a great time. After the game, David rushed home to report to his father. In the peaceful garden, he described each of his goals and Matt's mistakes. His father smiled and said, "You see, Matt may not be good at soccer, but he's excellent at math. Just like you, math might be difficult, but soccer is your strength. Everyone has their own abilities, and that's perfectly normal. We don't have to be the same. We should value our differences." His father's words lit a spark in David's mind. He realized that no one excels in every area, and each person's strengths make life diverse and interesting. Still curious, David immediately asked about the second lesson. His father smiled, ready to give him a new challenge, one that would help him discover the secret to getting better at anything. Looking at David, his father said, "The second lesson starts tomorrow. Watch Matt carefully at school, and take note of anything he does involving numbers or calculations." The next day, David went to class eager to complete his mission. All day, he quietly observed his friend. He noticed that Matt frequently solved math problems on paper, played number puzzles, calculated change when buying snacks, and even counted flower petals during recess. Whenever possible, Matt found ways to use numbers. After school, David headed to the soccer field as usual, but his mind kept returning to his observations. That evening, when his father came home, David ran to the garden and reported, "Today, Matt did so many things involving numbers, almost all day." His father nodded, smiling. "That's the secret. Matt is good at math because he loves it and practices it daily, just like you with soccer. To excel at anything, you need to practice regularly. You can start small, like counting petals, then move to harder tasks." The key is consistency. Hearing this, David realized that progress doesn't come from luck, but from passion and persistence. He felt more motivated, understanding that to improve in math, he needed to practice the way he did with soccer. He then asked eagerly, "So what's the last lesson, Dad?" His father just smiled, preparing an even tougher challenge. Tilting his head thoughtfully, his father said, "For the final lesson, I want you to estimate how much better Matt is at math compared to you." David thought for a moment before answering. "I think about 3 times better." His father nodded. "Then tomorrow, study math 3 times harder than usual." Though a bit nervous, David was determined. The next day after school, he sat at his desk with his math book. The first hour went well, as he focused on solving problems. Thinking of his father's words, he pushed himself for 2 more hours, even as fatigue set in. Eventually, a headache came over him, his eyelids grew heavy, and he fell asleep without realizing it. That evening, his father gently woke him for dinner and invited him to the garden. Feeling disappointed, David said, "I'm sorry, I couldn't finish. I studied so much my head hurt, and I fell asleep." His father patted his head and said, "David, this is exactly what I wanted you to learn. When you try to master something you don't enjoy, it's hard to stay disciplined and consistent. But when you love what you do, like soccer, it's easy to keep going every day without feeling burdened. So to become truly skilled, either study what you love or learn to love what you're studying." David nodded quietly, committing the 3 life lessons to memory, lessons he knew would stay with him forever. David's story ends with these valuable teachings from his father. First, everyone has their own strengths, and differences are natural. Second, skills are built through consistent practice. Third, passion is the key to maintaining discipline and persistence in learning. The narrator reminds us that, just like David with soccer, if you want to excel in any field, including English, you should find a way to make practice enjoyable. When you love it, you'll practice every day without pressure. When you don't, you need to learn how to nurture that love to keep your motivation alive. Alongside its message, the video blends English learning in a light and engaging way. As you listen to the story, you're introduced to new vocabulary, example sentences, and practical usage, making the process lively and memorable. It's a way to improve language skills while absorbing meaningful life lessons. The narrator concludes with encouragement. Keep practicing regularly, stay patient, and always look for opportunities to learn. Learning English, like any skill, improves the more you practice. Finally, Viewers are invited to like, comment, and share their thoughts on the story, and are warmly welcome to join the next episodes to continue their journey of learning and personal growth.